Hour. We just got our most latest update, and here's the thing: it is now a tropical storm. It has finally dropped back below hurricane status, but this is significant because it is well over 100 miles inland before this system finally weakened back down into a tropical storm. Sustained winds, however, still at 70 miles per hour. This is still a very potent storm, and because it is moving so quickly, there are some communities where the worst is still yet to come, even though the storm has made landfall. All of these areas you see here in green are under a flood watch, meaning the potential is there for significant flooding. The red areas indicating where flash flooding is ongoing, and this white area you see here, that is a flash flood emergency. This is just west of the city of Asheville, North Carolina. This is valid for several more hours. This particular area has had at least 6 to 10 inches of rain in just the last several hours. There are reports of cars that are stuck in roadways, roads underwater. There are also been water rescues that have taken place here and reports of landslides in this area. So this is going to be a concern going forward because the rain is not yet done. You can see a lot of those outer bands really still spreading a lot of that moisture not only into western North Carolina, but portions of South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, and even into Kentucky. We also have numerous tornado warnings ongoing right now in the state of South Carolina. That is expected to continue. You can see we have several tornado watches in effect for Georgia and the Carolinas. These are valid for at least another hour, but it is very likely that some of these will get extended throughout the day because the potential for tornadoes still exists for the remainder of the day today, especially for the Carolinas and portions of southern Virginia, essentially Norfolk all the way down to Charleston. There will be the potential for tornadoes this morning, but also into the afternoon. There's also even more rainfall expected across many of these areas, so the threat for flooding, Casey, still exists through the entire day.
All right, Allison Chinchar for us this morning. Allison, thank you very much. The devastation that we're seeing in Florida from Helene, just the opening chapter in what is now a tropical storm. In South Georgia, 2 people died in a tornado that was spawned by Helene. Power outages also mounting across that state. CNN's Ryan Young is in Atlanta, where the entire metro is bracing for this under a tropical storm warning. Ryan, good morning. What are the concerns where you are today?
Good morning. Well, what you just said is something that is very rare, Casey, in terms of the fact of a tropical storm warning for Metro Atlanta. Atlanta is known as a city built basically within a forest. Very large tree cover here. When we do get rainstorms, they're usually not this consistent and going as long as this one could go. It's been very dry over the last 60 days here in the Atlanta area, and all the rain that we got from our earlier cold front made people concerned because with the ground saturated now, they're worried about big trees falling. You add in this extra rain over the last 24 hours, more than 5 inches of rain have come into the city of Atlanta, so you're worried about flooding. And we've heard from some of our local news partners here that they've already had to have rescues this morning at several low-lying apartment complexes. There are creeks that they're concerned about overflowing their banks at this point. They've shut down bridges because of that. And then when you put in that massive infrastructure in terms of the roads in this area, they flood sometimes during heavy rains, but you add the constant rain of maybe 5 to 10 inches of rain, plus the heavy wind that we're expecting the next few hours, that is the major concern right now. I can tell you just by driving in this area, we haven't seen a lot of cars on the road. That's a good thing. The world's largest airport, Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, we know they've had more than 100 cancellations of flights so far. But the constant concern right now, the big storyline, of course, is the constant rainfall and how it's going to apply to infrastructure. All the way through Georgia, we've seen power outages. People are concerned about what will happen over the next few hours. Casey?
All right, Ryan Young for us this morning. Ryan, very grateful to have you this morning. Stay safe. We'll be checking in with you throughout the morning.